It started with the smell of cinnamon. Every morning, before the sun crept into the sky, Mr. Jensen opened the doors of Sweet Rise Bakery, a little shop tucked between a flower store and a bookstore on Maple Avenue. The town was small, quiet, and mostly the same as it had been for decades. But something was about to change. Across town, 9-year-old Samira Ahmed had just moved in with her family. They had fled a war-torn home country for safety, starting over with little more than hope and a suitcase full of memories. Samira wore a soft blue hijab and loved to draw birds, but her first week at her new school was filled with stares, silence, and whispers. Some kids asked why she wore that thing on her head. One boy called her family terrorists, and a group of girls said she smelled like spices and sadness. She stopped speaking in class. She stopped smiling. Each morning, while walking to school with her older brother, Samira would slow down in front of the bakery window. The smell of sugar, vanilla, and rising dough wrapped around her like a hug. She pressed her small fingers to the glass, watching pastries being arranged. For a few seconds, she forgot the cold words at school. Mr. Jensen noticed her. At first, he didn't say anything. He just watched as she appeared each day. Same time, same spot. Then one morning, as she stood outside again, he opened the door and called out, "Hey there! You like cinnamon rolls?" Samira froze. She looked at her brother, unsure. Mr. Jensen smiled. "Tell you what, I've got one with your name on it. Just a taste?" She stepped forward shyly. He wrapped a warm cinnamon roll in parchment and handed it to her, along with a small paper bag containing a crayon and a note. "Sweet things should be shared. Can you draw me something for the wall?" Samira smiled for the first time in weeks. The next day, she returned with a drawing, a small bird flying over a bakery, leaving a trail of sugar stars. Mr. Jensen pinned it to the wall behind the counter, and every morning after that, he'd greet her with a new flavor and ask, "What will you draw today?" One morning, a customer behind Samira grumbled, "Are we really giving out free pastries now?" Mr. Jensen looked the man squarely in the eye and said, "She's paying in smiles. That's good currency here." News spread. People started coming to Sweet Rise to see the wall of birds, each one hand-drawn by Samira, some perched, some flying, some carrying messages like, "Love is louder. Different is beautiful. Kindness doesn't need translation." One day, her teacher visited the bakery. She stared at the drawings, tears in her eyes. "I had no idea she was this talented." Mr. Jensen replied, "She just needed someone to see her, really see her." From that day forward, the teacher made space in the classroom for Samira to share her art. She let her explain the meaning behind her drawings. Kids asked questions. Some apologized. One of the girls who had mocked her earlier now sat beside her in class every day. Years passed. The wall of birds grew. Samira kept drawing. By the time she was 16, she was creating murals across the city, bold, colorful works that celebrated cultures, languages, and unity. The bakery became a community hub. People left notes for one another, sharing stories of kindness. And Mr. Jensen, he kept baking, but every roll he made had a swirl of cinnamon and hope. One afternoon, Samira stood outside the bakery, staring at the window where it all began. She walked in, hugged the old baker, and gave him a gift, a painting of a giant bird with a little girl in a hijab riding on its back. Underneath it, in bright letters, were the words, "Thank you for seeing me. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to the channel." Stories like this remind us that one small act of kindness can erase a world of hurt. If you watched till the end, thank you. You're part of something good.